Hey, what's on guys? My name is Brett, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Duel Links video, welcome back to a Duel Links level up card review. We just got the level 33-35 level rewards for the 5Ds characters, meaning that we now have access to a ton of new cards, some additional copies of older cards, and also a 1-card Mist Wurm Synchro summon, which I'll talk about at the end of the video. You can go to the timestamp on screen now to go and check that out. It's a really nifty combo that you might be seeing on the ladder at some point. It might take people a few days to kind of get all the cards they need, and it's definitely a pay to win or pay to play combo right now, but soon hopefully it won't be. So let's take a look at what we got. First of all, for each character we got 100,000 gold, which means, you know, more stuff to spend on the card trader, always nice. Be nice if the card trader got an update to make it more meaningful. We also got 450 gems per character, split between 200 and 250 gems, so that's just under 3,500 gems if you unlock every character up to 35, so not too bad there. And in general, I think the reward cards are okay. Konami did a good enough job on this to say, hey, here's like 10 new cards for 5Ds or 10 extra cards for 5Ds characters, and they did okay, giving us some decent enough reprints and some new interesting cards for certain characters. So for Yusei, we have Unknown Synchro at level 35, this is a copy of a card we got at level 30. It's kind of useless other than being a normal summonable level 1 tuner, which, like, it's useless because its effect is hard once per turn to special summon it, so if you're running 2 in the deck, then you're not getting any real benefit from it, and given how, like, fast Synchros have kind of progressed since the game first came out, when Unknown Synchro actually saw play, I don't think Synchro, like, this card is going to see much play at all. At least not until we get some more awkward level Synchros, like, you know, like level 9 Synchros or level 3 or level 4. More level 4 Synchros are going to kind of make Unknown Synchron a bit more necessary. So until we get those kind of cards, then Unknown Synchron might still stay a bit more unknown to players. Really bad pun. Let's go down to his 33 card, Miracle's Wake. If you were paying attention to the Tag Duel tournament, you would have known that they actually put this card in the reward, like in the lottery artwork for a while, then changed it. Now, obviously, if we got it then, it'd been pretty good card for a, you know, a multiple, like a 3 of you could get from the event. Target 1 monster that was destroyed by battle and sent to your graveyard this turn, special summon it. So it is a way to restore field presence once your monster's been destroyed. I think this card might see play, genuinely. I think this might be a nice little tech choice for free-to-play players to put in their decks if they can't afford, you know, like some of the more powerful back row we've had right now. Just being able to survive one more turn, getting potentially a big monster back onto the field is going to be really nice. And maybe that means, you know, another card for Quakimeros to kind of keep a Maximus out on the field. You know, like if Maximus gets destroyed in the battle phase, bring it back, and then you have it for next turn, and you can blow up a card once the ban list gets implemented. So Miracle's Awake, I think, is one of the best cards we've had from this entire level up reward upgrade, I guess. Moving on to Jack, we have 2 recurring cards, but both are pretty good. We have Dark Resonator, a second copy of that, which people have been asking for, so honestly, a really good level 3 Dark Tuner. Really liking this level up reward. Again, can't be destroyed by battle for the first time each turn, so a really good card. And then we have Dark Bug, which of course when it's normal summoned, lets you search out for a level 3 tuner in your graveyard, and negates those effects, but it means that immediately you have access to a level 4 Synchro. If you have a level 4 on board, then you have access to a level 8. Easy summoning for like things like Red Dragon Archfiend, so Dark Bug is okay. Obviously the star of this, of Jack, is the Dark Resonator, again, the second copy. Gonna make people very happy with that one, very free to play friendly tuner. Then we have Crow. And Crows are really interesting, so I haven't finished unlocking Crow to level 30 yet, but we have Blackwing Damascus the Polar Knight, so I've not heard of this one before. Level 3, Winged Beast Dark, 1300 attack, 700 defense. During either player's turn, you may discard this card to target one Blackwing monster you control. It gains 500 attack until the end phase. This is your mini Kalute. Like your budget, free-to-play Kalute, which I don't even know if we'll ever get Kalute. I would have thought we would at some point. But Blackwings are so bad right now that they'll take any help they can get, even if I don't think this is going to be see play at all, honestly. Like, the deck sucks right now because it doesn't have access to a boss monster, and just improving the attack points of your Blackwings by 500 isn't good enough to warrant inclusion in a deck that already struggles with getting big monsters on board. So honestly, an interesting card, but one that will probably be power crept very, very quickly whenever we do get the next wave of Blackwing support. And speaking of a very good Blackwing Pinaki the Waxing Moon, level 3, 1200 attack, 1000 defense. It's a tuner as well. Cannot be used as a synchro material except for Blackwing, so it's pretty standard. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent at this turn, ideally as a synchro summon, you can add one Blackwing from your deck to your hand except itself, and it's a hard once per turn. That's really good. It's a searcher in the end phase, setting up your next turn so you've got a Blackwing in hand. It can be special summoned when you have another Blackwing on field, so something like a Bora. Then, then you can summon out a tuner next turn, going for the synchro summon. Could be a nice little strategy with Pinaki. So I was saying, Crow getting a pretty good card for his level rewards. So Crow, previously treated pretty badly, got a pretty decent card in his level rewards, not too bad there. Moving on to Akiza, who I think got the worst treatment of the bunch. She got Violet Witch, which is pretty much just a searcher when it's destroyed for plants, so it can search out a good amount of things, but a lot of plants have very high defense compared to their attacks, so there's not too much you can go into right now. Naturius can use this. You could search out a Romage, the blue one, whichever the blue one is. I know that much. So it could be okay in the future, but I don't know all the targets for this card, honestly. And what targets right now we have in Duel Links that make it good, so I can't really comment too much on it. Then another copy of Botanical Lion. I don't think anyone's really playing this, so maybe now we have two. There can be a fun little plant deck come and to kind of use this card strat. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like with Akiza, I really don't, because everyone's waiting on Black Rose Dragon. Obviously, they weren't going to give us it in this, but there are better cards they probably could have given us for plant support. So yeah, Akiza got the short end of the stick in terms of newer cards, I think. And then we have Leo, who did really well. Honestly, Leo did really, really well. So first we have a second copy of Smartphone at level 35. I've not really played Morphtronics because I couldn't get every card from the mini box. But Smartphone is a tuner. It's one of the best ones. Special summon it by banishing a Morphtronic in the graveyard, so using up a dead resource. Really nice. When it's in attack mode, you can roll a 6-sided die, then pretty much add one of those Morphtronics you excavated to your hand. So it's a really, really good search card. Then if it's in defense mode, you can roll 6-sided dice and then decide whether you want to put all those cards on the top or bottom of the deck and kind of stack your deck in order. So you can stack your deck the way you want it to, or ensure you don't draw into any of those cards by putting it at the bottom of the deck. Really, really interesting card there, and I think that by itself is a big enough boost for Morphtronics. But then we also have Morphtronic Lantron, which is another tuner, which to me is really interesting because this is the tuner that comes with one of Leo's leaked skills to add in Lifestream Dragon. As far as I remember, this is one of the cards that was with that skill. So 200 attack and defense. While it's in attack mode, any effect damage you would take is inflicted to your opponent. So, nah, honestly, I don't think that's that great right now. I know I was saying back when 5D's first launched, we'd probably see effect damage like come into its own and be very prominent, but I don't think we are right now. Then while it's in defense mode, when it's dropped by battle and sent to graveyard, it's a Winged Kuribo. So not too bad, a Winged Kuribo tuner basically. Pretty decent. Again, could mean that we will see Lifestream Dragon come at some point in the future because it is part of that skill as well. So I think that gives us more hope than anything else with Leo, and again, Leo getting some pretty decent cards. Moving on to Luna. Luna has, again, two really cool cards. First up, we have Bear Blocker, level 3, 600 attack, 0 defense. During your opponent's turn, set cards in your spell and trap card zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. That's immediately really cool because it means that only your monster lineup is targetable and destroyable. So your opponent has to go through Bear Blocker to get to your back row, which is really interesting. Then if a set card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect in your spell and trap card zone, this card gains 800 attack, becoming a 2400 point monster, and of course that happens on your turn. That'll happen on your turn when that does happen. So you better hope your opponent isn't playing Cosmic Cyclone and they're playing other things. Bear Blocker's pretty interesting. And then we have another tuner, level 3, Councillor Lily, a very classic card in the TCG. When this card is sent to the graveyard for a synchro summon, you can pay 500 to have it gain 1000 attack until the end phase. Honestly, not the best. there's probably going to be some card in the future that requires a fairy tuner that will make this card really good. But I think in general right now, of course, you still, the wielder, the tracker combo is too good, and wielder's effect is way better than Lily's, you know, like when it's used for synchro material. So Lily, you're okay for a free-to-play option, but you've kind of been outed by wielder again, which is a shame. This probably should have come a little bit sooner than now, I think, but nice to have it in the game regardless. And then finally for Trudge, and you may look at Trudge and think, oh boy, what is this? Both copies of Go-Yo Defender, but Go-Yo Defender is actually really, really good for certain situations. So it's a level 3 tuner, or level 3 synchro, sorry. So immediately, levels are a bit awkward. Once per turn, if all monsters you control are Earth-type warrior synchros, you can special summon Go Defender from the extra deck. So you summon him out, then summon another one out. Immediately you have 2 monsters on board. When this card is targeted for an attack, you can make this card attack gain 1000 attack for every Earth warrior synchro monster you control other than this card until the end of the damage step. If you summon this card successfully, then he's guaranteed pretty much to go and be up to 2000 attack points for the battle phase, which is for that battle, which is not too bad for a level 3 synchro. And here's where we get into that big combo. So as you may know, Spore was a card that was added into the game via the most recent selection box mini, and Spore has a really weird effect. So it's a tuner. If this card is in the graveyard, you can banish one of the plant type monster from your graveyard, special summon this card, and it's increased its level by level of that banished monster. So what you would do is you'd run the What Grows in the Graveyard skill with Dark Verger in the grave, you'd normal summon Spore, then use Verger's effect in the graveyard to special summon its elf out, then you'd synchro summon with Verger and Spore into your Go-Yo Defender, use Go-Yo Defender to special summon out another Go-Yo Defender, then use Spore's effect in the graveyard to banish the Dark Verger, special summon out the Spore, and then use Spore and your 2 defenders to go into a synchro summon of Mist Wurm, and then you can use Mist Wurm to target up to 3 cards your opponent controls and bounce them and have a pretty clear shot at 2500 points of damage minimum for that turn. If you manage to get any special summons off as well after Mist Wurm, then you're just getting increased damage potential on board, which is really nice, and that's a nice little 1-card combo with a skill that can lead to a pretty big synchro. Downside, of course, is that it does take up 3 extra deck slots, which is, you know, not great when you only have 5. So it's definitely a big way up as to what you want to kind of focus on for your extra deck. If you're just running, you know, if you're running like that junk Synchro Grass Grows and Graveyard deck, then maybe you could just put Mist Wurm, 2 defenders, and like 2 copies of Armades in your deck, and you have a fairly okay synchro lineup there. Maybe you want to wait and see if we get the extra deck expansion, which might be coming soon, maybe not, who knows. That could help this deck or this strategy kind of shine a bit more. But that is me done for today's Duel Links video. If you guys did enjoy, let me know your thoughts on these raw card description down below. Are you going to be trying to build any decks, and do you have any ideas for how they could be used? Again, this is my raw thoughts on these cards, so apologies if any of those are incorrect or don't work in the way I think they do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.